Okay, so I've got to ask the question. Are you confused about what AI tools to use? Because there's so many. You've got ChatGPT, you've got Groq, you've got Claude, you've got Perplexity, you've got Pi. You've got all of these different AI tools, and you're probably trying to figure out, okay, which tool do I use? When do I use it and why? Those are the things that we are going to talk about today during this live training. I hope you're fired up. Let's get started.
This is your moment. This is your life. 'Cause empires rise where ideas ignite. This is your moment. This is your life.
Hey guys, my name is Dee Williams, and I help career professionals and entrepreneurs just like you unleash your ideas and turn them into something meaningful, impactful, and help you make a lot of money. And today we're talking about AI. We're talking about how to use AI, what platforms to use, when to use them, and why we need to use them. And this is something that's really, really, really important to me. But before I dive into that, if you're watching me on YouTube, I would love for you to take a moment and to just like my video, subscribe to my channel, comment throughout the conversation. I'm looking to build a meaningful relationship with you. And that's for everyone, but I'm really growing my YouTube channel in a totally different way. If you're on any of the other networks, YouTube is where you'll find the majority of the one-on-one training. This is an introduction to you so that you'll know how to find me. But I would love to grow with you in this world of AI so that you can not only understand how to use it, but be a superstar in that area and be able to take over your career and your life. So exciting, right? Okay. So today we are talking about AI. We're going to dive into AI in a very detailed way. So I want you to get your pen and your paper out because you're going to want to take notes, or if you have double screens, you can feel free to go in and to open up your second screen and go through the tutorial with me while I do it. Okay. And so I'm totally cool with that either or. Now, what I want to do is to talk to you a little bit about how we're going to bring this AI to life and why this is so important for me to give this information to you. So let's start with why this information is so important.
Near guaranteed at this point to have effective.
Hold on one second. I'm going to make sure that I got this on appropriately. Let me go in.
Near guaranteed.
Hold on, my computer is not working the way that I want.
Point to have
There.
Near guaranteed.
Let me get it on there. All right, now I think I'm ready. So let's talk about why this is so important.
We're near guaranteed at this point to have effectively models that are capable of automating any white collar job by like 27, 28, or near guaranteed end of decade.
So that's Shoto Douglas, an AI researcher at Anthropic working on scaling up reinforcement learning. And if that sounded wild, he's not the only one saying it. In just the past few days, multiple leading voices in the AI space have made the same prediction. White-collar work, as we know it, is on track for a full collapse by the end of this decade, if not sooner. But here's the real problem. No one's ready for it. Not companies, not governments, and definitely not the average person.
But that's where I come in. That's why this is so important to me, because in the future, AI is what everyone is going to be utilizing. And I don't want you to be left behind. That's very important to me. I don't want you to be left behind. And if you're not diving in today, you're going to get left behind. So let's dive into some of the things that we are going to get into today, which is literally all about AI and the future of work. Okay. So AI in the future of work, it's time for you to learn AI. 2030. By 2030, anything automated will be replaced by AI, meaning anything that's going to be repetitive, that you're going to be using and doing over and over and over again, is going to be automated by AI. So if you don't own AI, or you don't know how to use AI or manage AI, then you and your job will be replaced, no question about that, by the people who know how to use and manage AI. So it's going to be very important that you take the time out to actually sit down and understand how to get these skill sets up under your belt. You've got to get these skill sets up under your belt, and you've got to get up under your belt today. Okay, no pressure, but today. And that's literally what we are going through. Now, let's talk about some of these platforms, because a lot of people aren't really sure, like, okay, what platforms do I use? How do I use them? And what do I use them for? And we're going to dive into that a little bit more, but I'm moving a little fast, and I don't want to move so fast. I want to go back and add that picture that we just saw in the video from Moonshots. And shout out to Moonshots. They're definitely, I think I put the link in the description. You should check out their AI channel, their YouTube channel. They do a lot of cool stuff around AI, and you'll really appreciate it and be able to keep up what's going on in the industry. So let's talk a little bit. They put this document together, A History of the Future 2025-2040. This is a speculative scenario about how things are going to go with AI. I do encourage you to visit AI 2027 so that you can see what the AI experts are saying, how it's going to evolve. But let's take a look at this, because we're talking about work, and we're talking about how it affects you either as an employee or as an entrepreneur in the next 5 years. How are you going to be able to sustain your current living? Because if you're an employee, I guarantee you, your employer is trying to find ways of either replacing you or reskilling you, so that if you're seen to be valuable enough to want to reskill and to keep into that role. So right now it's about to be an employer's market. When it's an employer's market, it's not an employee's market. And that means that your back is going to be up against the wall. And I don't want that, which is one of the reasons why you're going to see me doing all of these trainings. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the history of the future. This speculative scenario, 2025, 2026, that's today. GPT-05, it's multi-model super agent. We are already experiencing that. Claude 4 with RL Renaissance, which is reinforcement learning. We already have that in place. We're saying literally this is the Asiatic AI boom period, where you're seeing a lot of AI agent models like popping up. And that's very important for you to know, because if you don't know how to use an AI operator and or agent, and you're not creating them, you're already 10 steps behind. Okay. We're saying by 2027, 2028, GDM proves Millennium Prize problem, which is the generative, AI model, market correction, AGI debate. So they're saying this is where the breakthroughs and the backlash happens. So this is where human in the loop laws are going to start to come in, because we're going to be experiencing so many things with AI. By 2029 to 2031, you will see the end of white collar work. Okay. OpenAI is operator, and operator is going to actually be working on your computer, doing things on your behalf. Things that you're doing now, you won't necessarily need to do in the future, because AI is going to handle all of that for you. Office jobs are pretty much going to go away in the way that we know them. And I guarantee you it's going to look crazy if you're not getting the AI skills you need under your belt right now. Okay. I don't want you to be left behind. And then from 2036 to 2036 and beyond, we're going to start seeing the $1 trillion robot economy, where manufacturing triples, quadruples 1,000 times. And humans are essentially going to be powerless, because the AI will be smarter than us in many ways, and taking over a lot of the things that we're doing now. So the world that you know today will not exist in 5 years. Okay, that's the reality. So if you're comfortable, make yourself uncomfortable right now. If you're comfortable, make yourself uncomfortable right now, because the shift is here. It doesn't say in 5 years. It starts with 2025, 2026. We're already halfway into the year of 2025. It is very important that you are reskilling yourself right now in the world of AI. So we're going to dive into it. This is a training session. I will go back in and break the videos up later on so that you can look at them separately in the playlist. This will be also a playlist on my YouTube channel, and you will also be able to hear this on all podcast platforms, even though it's not visual. I still want people to be able to listen to it as often as they can so they can learn. So we're going to do a quick overview of all the platforms, and then we're going to go into each individual platform individually and talk about how they work, what they're used for, and why you're going to use them. Most people don't even know that there are this many core AI platforms. Most people think of AI, they think of ChatGPT, and that's it. But oh my gosh, this is where I get excited and I geek out. There's so many more platforms, and they all do something different. So we're going to start with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a general purpose assistant with a wide range of capabilities. It's best used for writing, brainstorming, coding, tutoring, productivity, workflows, business planning. Gemini is made by Google. So just so you know, ChatGPT is created by OpenAI. If you're not following them on Twitter, you should. Twitter X, you should be following them on YouTube so that you know what's going on with ChatGPT and OpenAI on a consistent basis. Gemini is made by Google, which is a great AI platform. It seamlessly integrates into all Google, everything, all things Google. It's really great for productivity, summarizing Google Docs, managing emails, and research within the internet. It's a really cool platform. I really like Gemini. It's not my go-to, but I love Gemini for specific things. We're going to talk about that in a second, so stick around. Okay. The next platform most people have not heard of, it's called Pi. Pi is definitely one of my favorite platforms on the planet. I use it a lot in business. As a matter of fact, you can, when I work with my clients one-on-one and we're working on mission and vision statements, and we'll get into that, Pi is the number one place that I go to. Pi is all about emotional intelligence and personal conversation. It was actually created by the founder of LinkedIn, believe it or not. And they are making some really huge changes to Pi in the upcoming months. So I'm excited to see what those changes are. But Pi is absolutely amazing. A lot of people use Pi for conversation, mental wellness, check-ins, more as I don't want to say it's just more of a friends, right? And you'll see why when we dive into Pi, why people consider it more of a friendly AI than some of the other platforms. Then we have Groq. Groq is created by Twitter, by Elon Musk, and is pretty much used on Twitter X, although you can get to it without going to Twitter X as well. People say that Groq is ultra fast with the speed. And developers use it in real time, right? To get real-time AI response, benchmarks, and different things like that. Now, not everybody is pro Groq because it lives mainly on the X platform. And we all know that the conversations on Twitter X is a lot crazy. So if Groq is learning from X, that's kind of scary. But in regards to, and we'll get into it, a lot of other things Groq is really great for. The next platform I'm going to introduce you to is Claude. Claude is by Anthropic. If you have been watching the news, Anthropic's or former employee from Anthropic, or I think maybe their current employee, I'm not sure. We saw the video of them originally when we first started here. He put the 911 call out to everyone over the last week or so, letting people know that entry-level jobs are going to be gone in the next year. White-collar jobs are going to be gone in the next 4 to 5 years. we've got to start implementing some type of universal basic income and really, really, really getting people reskilled, understanding how to use AI, when to use AI, and all of those different things. And so, big player. One of the things that I love about Claude is that they are building this AI and testing this AI for ethics. So it's built around safety, ethics, and aligned behavior in mind. We're going to talk about alignment a little bit and what that means, and what that looks like to you. But alignment and just from a bigger perspective, when you hear people talk about AI and alignment, it's their way of training AI to be more, not to be human, but to protect the human race, essentially, to have the same goals and values that we have. So that it doesn't take over, so that it's more of a tool that we use that's safe than something that we're fearing out of like a Terminator movie or out of the Matrix movie or something like that. So in regards to Terminator and Matrix and different things like that, the AI wasn't aligned. Here, Claude, their whole focus on building this platform is about ensuring that we have aligned AI to protect the human race. And I think that's pretty awesome. So I love Claude. Some of the things that it's best for is creating documents from scratch. A lot of people don't know that. I'm going to show you how to do that today. Analyzing large documents. So you could take a case study, you could take court documents, you could take research papers, all of those things, upload it into Claude. It will analyze it and really, do whatever information, whatever things you want to do with it. It's really, really, really cool. And it's one of the most powerful AI platforms that are out there. And then finally, we have Perplexity, which is definitely one of my favorite. I think I said that about a lot of them, though. But Perplexity is definitely one of my favorites. A lot of people have never heard of Perplexity. They don't know what it is, but it is an AI-powered search engine and research assistant. And I love Perplexity because, in my opinion, it has more of the truer information out there. And that's because they use, peer review studies, they use the internet, they use a lot of different things, but things that are more confirmed to be true than not. And so when I'm going to look for data that that's reputable, I typically go to Perplexity, and I'll show you exactly why. So these are all the platforms that we are going to be going through today. We're going to start off with an intro to ChatGPT. I hope you are fired up and ready to dive in. Okay. That's what we're about to do right now. We're about to get into that ChatGPT. Okay. So let me share my screen. Hold on one second. There we go. And let's share. So y'all know this is really, really live. I'm over here sharing my screen here. Let's do the entire screen here. And let's dive in right there. I'm going to just move you over so I can see you a little bit differently here. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am definitely open to comments, and I'll answer any comments that you have, any questions that you have. I am here to support you. I hope that that you can, let me just make sure you can see. I think everybody can see my screen. Yes. Okay. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Let me just make sure. I want to make sure I'm not losing you. Okay. Put a 1 in the box if you can see my screen. I think that's the bigger, I would appreciate that. So I can just make sure. Right there. I should have put my other thing on there and I did not. There we go. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Okay. So it doesn't look like you can see my screen, which sucks. Let me add this here. Now you can. Now I feel safe that you and I are on the same page. So let's go in. We're getting into ChatGPT. Now, Chat is a platform. Like I said, it's a generalist platform. I pretty much use Chat for everything. And I use them in different stages, but Chat is probably the first place that I go to. But I want to share how to use Chat so that you have an idea of what you're doing when you're utilizing, because a lot of people don't necessarily know how to utilize ChatGPT. So first of all, when you sign up, let's first talk about the sign up process in the event that you have not signed up yet. Some people have not, they're just using the free version. You want to use a paid version if you want to get the best out of chat. I'm going to tell you that now. You're going to go to openai.com and you are there. You can click on log in. When you click on log in, essentially it's going to say, do you have an account? And you're going to go into ChatGPT. You're going to sign up your account right there. And hopefully you'll sign up for the larger package. When you first start out, it'll let you go into chat for free. But I'm going to tell you right now that you definitely want to enhance your ChatGPT experience. This is what we consider to be our main dashboard. And it says right there, what can I help you with? Ask me for anything. But before you do that, because most people are automatically going in or they're using it on their phone. And I'm going to tell you, I am a junkie for my chat app on my phone. If you can look at my screen here, I know it's a little fuzzy, but they have the ChatGPT app, and I like to talk to chat. So I'm typically doing the audio on my phone, and then I work with it on my desktop so I don't have to type everything in. But with that being said, there is a voice mode here. So I want to just already get you set up that you don't have to type anything into ChatGPT. You can voice mode everything. To me, it doesn't work so great on the desktop as it does on the phone, but you can absolutely use it. So let's just test it really quickly so that you can see if you're someone that's coming in and you're like, I just want to ask a really quick question to chat, but I don't want to type it out. You can literally go in and you can dictate it. Hey, chat, I really appreciate you being here today, helping me out. I have a question. What does AI look like in the next 24 months in regards to jobs? Like, are people going to lose their jobs? Are people going, are they going to implement a universal basic income? I don't know. These are my questions. Can you help me out? So I just hit that microphone, said what I needed to say. As you can see, all of the things that I stated automatically came up on there. And I can just go in and hit that button and be done. And it's going to start answering my questions. Now I can also go in and use voice mode. Hey, how are you today? I'm phenomenal. Thank you for asking. I have a quick question to ask you. Do you mind? So I am doing a live class right now with people who might be a little bit concerned about whether or not they're going to still have their job over the next 12 to 24 months because AI and robots are pretty much injecting themselves into society. And I was wondering if you have any information or feedback or anything like that that can guide me and let me know what I can expect or what they can expect over the next 12 to 24 months within the job market. And are they going to implement universal basic income? Those are my questions. Thank you. I really appreciate you today. I hope you're having a great day. All right, thanks a million. And so now I'm going to end. So and then what it does is it dictates and talks about the conversation. It pretty much summarizes the conversation for you so that you can go back and you can review the conversation you had, maybe add to it by adding additional text and going on from there. And if you notice on your left-hand side, it created a thread here in ChatGPT and in most AI platforms, we call these threads. It created a thread. Hi, how are you today? That's how I started it out. So that's what it named it. They have 3 dots next to the thread. You can actually click on and rename, and I can just say quick question to chat about the future of work. Why is this important that you name and rename your stuff? Because you are going to want to go back and find things, okay? And it's going to be harder to find things if you don't name them appropriately. Here at the top of your chat, right under the new chat button, you're going to see search chats, and you'll be able to go in and type in future of work, because I put that down as a title. And now it's going to go through everything that I have to see, did she type anything or ever say anything about the future of work? And it's going to go and start looking for those things. So it really starts in the description, and then it'll go from there. As you can see, I've got a lot of stuff here, but I actually added it here, quick chat, and I'm going to go show you about the future of work. So I have that there. Okay. So I just wanted to throw that out there. You have your thread that's being saved on the left-hand side. You can search your chats on the left-hand side as well. And you definitely want to use the 3 dots to go in and to rename your threads. Okay. Very, very important. Now let's go back to a new chat, because I want to make sure that I have a clear screen. All right. Few more things before we start to play with it in more detail. This is an introduction. Oh, you couldn't hear the responses? I'm sorry, sister. I don't know why. I think it's because of the way chat went. So when you go through the replay, you should be able to hear it. I apologize. And thank you for that feedback. I really appreciate that. So before we get into how you're going to use chat in more detail, let's still talk about some of the things that are happening in chat that you can control, that you want to get into. So when you go to the very top of chat, there's a drop down and it shows you the model in which you're working with. Cool enough, they tell you what each model is good for. So ChatGPT 4.0 is great for most tasks. 03 uses advanced reasoning. What does that mean, D? What does advanced reasoning mean? Advanced reasoning means that it's starting to understand what you're typing in, and it's reasoning the things that you're saying to provide you with a proper response. Pretty cool and pretty scary at the same time, but that's what it does. Then they have 404 mini, which is fast at advanced reasoning. 04 mini high, which is great at coding and visual reasoning. Then you have 4.5, which is more of a research type of model. Then you have 4.1, which is for quick coding and analysis, and 4.1 mini is just for faster tasks. They use less tokens, and you can use any one of these. I'm typically at 4.0, 4.0 mini, or 4.04 mini high. Okay. So those are the ones that I typically work with. So choose your model when you're getting started. If it's not important, don't worry about it. You can just use the basic model. But if you have a specific task, like you want to code something or you want to look at research or something like that, then you can go in and change your model from there. Okay. Now, few more things. Let's say that you want to ask chat something, but it's private, meaning that you don't want it to be in the memory. You don't want it to show up in the memory or in any way, form, or fashion. You kind of want to talk to chat incognito. Now, you might be saying, D, what would I need to talk to chat incognito about? On a personal level, maybe it's about your health. Maybe it's about, your health is a good reason to not want to have that all in the mix of things in particular. Maybe it's just a quick question you just don't want to show up in your memory. But this is where you would go. At the very top, it says turn on temporary chat. This is like chat in incognito mode. So if you work with Chrome or Safari or any browser, there's an incognito mode where it doesn't track the information that you're saying. It's disabled. The memory is disabled. It won't show up in your history. And you can literally use chat the same way. You can dictate and go in and have those conversations. That's something that a lot of people don't know exists in ChatGPT, but it's very, very important. They do have templates here. I don't pretty much use the templates, but they do have new prompt templates there. So I want to show that to you. And in the top right-hand corner, you're going to see all of your essentially your settings to chat, right? So I have a personal and a business account. I can add people from my team on there, manage my workspace tasks. We're going to talk about my GPTs in a second, and custom chat GPT. There are your settings, and you can do shortcuts, right? You can also get a chat GPT search extension if you'd like. I do want to go into settings a little bit here, because I do believe it's important when you're setting up your chat to go into the settings section so that you can set it up appropriately. I just keep the system theme so it can be light or dark. I make sure that I check always show code, show follow-up suggestions in chats, and to auto detect my language. Your archive chats are there. You can manage your archive chats. All of the archives are there. You can delete your chats and so forth. Definitely, I love my push notifications and my emails, so forth. Personalization. You can customize chat to you. So you can say, what do you want chat to call you? My nickname is D. What else do you do? You know, I'm an entrepreneur. If I could spell it right, Preneur. So I don't even think I spelled it right. Entrepreneur. Okay, so entrepreneur. What traits should ChatGPT have? So this is not, so you can go in and tell Chat what tone you want it to be and different things like that. So I'm going to tell you something that I feel like is very important. You're probably only going to hear this from me, maybe others, but I need you to understand that AI doesn't run you. AI doesn't make decisions for you or anything like that. It's a tool for you to utilize. And if you're not careful, you'll forget how to think and how to process information. So it's very important for me that ChatGPT challenges things that I bring to it. And that way it'll help me to continue to evolve my critical thinking skills. And I can utilize chat at a master level versus at a beginner level. So what traits do I want it to have? I like straight shooting. Encouraging is cool, but I will definitely tell it, do not give me fluff. Okay. I do not like fluff. Just tell me straight out, this is what it is, D. If it's wrong, tell me, right? If it does not make sense, tell me, right? All of those things. I want it to be very authentic and real with its responses there. Also, anything else you would like ChatGPT to know about you, you can definitely, I'm from Baltimore. Everybody knows that. I was a teen mom, every preteen mom, everybody knows that. I stay fired up. Everybody knows that, right? So you can give it specific things for you if you'd like. One thing that I would definitely add is always ask me critical thinking skills. Always asking me critical thinking questions. Enhancing my critical thinking skills as I engage with chat. Okay. So those are the things that I'm telling it that I absolutely want it to have for me. That's very, very important. I do like forward thinking things, whatever, right? And then anything you want to know about me, I'm not going to add all of that in. I wanted to use web search code, Canvas, and advanced voice. I'm going to hit save. And so now every time it talks to me, it's going to kind of follow that space. You have memories, but chat doesn't allow you to have unlimited memories. And if you use chat GPT like me, I have so many memories. I'm always doing different things. So as you can see, this is your memory bucket. It will tell you when you're about 90% full, and then you're going to have to go in and delete some things, and so that it can make room for new things. Hopefully at some point you can pay for more memory, more saved memories, but right now you cannot. So just be careful with that. You have your speech, so you can choose the voice. I like Spruce. He's a brother. And I love black men. I mean, that's my thing. I'm into the black man, right? And so I needed that voice. Yeah, come with it, baby. hey, so that's me. But you can go in, you can choose. There are a lot of different people that's available. I don't know if y'all can hear these voices, but they're okay. So I'm gonna stick with Spruce because I feel like he's more along the lines of me. Okay. So that way that when I do the voice, he can come back and he can talk to me in that way. If you want to improve the model for everyone, of course you can do that, but it's going to start utilizing your information to train the AI model. I don't agree with that, particularly for this because it's global. I don't want them taking my ideas. I'm sorry, Nakia, that y'all can't hear the voices. Typically you can, so I'm really sorry. But if you go back and watch the replay, you'll definitely be able to hear it. I don't I don't want to improve the model with my ideas, right? With my proprietary data. So I don't share that, but other people do. You can go in and structure your shared links. So any links you created to share with people, they'll be stored there. You can also store your data from your personal workspace to your business workspace or your team workspace if you have that particular type of account. And then you can go in and build your profile out even more. So like you can go in, this is my placeholder GPT by D Williams. That's my name. You can go in and add your stuff in there so that it'll be able to connect with you. And this is something that's very new in the settings section. And what's new about it is that you can actually incorporate your Google Drive, your GitHub. Says I develop using chat, so my GitHub is connected. If you're a Microsoft person, you probably have Dropbox or OneDrive or Box. If you're a Google person, then you probably have Google Drive. And so you can take that and you can literally connect your drive to ChatGPT and allow yourself to be able to go in and really use chat in a totally different way. You're going to find that you absolutely love that. I use it with the GitHub more than anything, but you're going to love that. And then security, when you add the coding part, it's going to have you do a multi-factor authentication. Otherwise, you won't have to do that. And I'm on chat on all my laptops. So if you want to log out of all your devices, you can. So when you go into chat, it's very important that you go into your settings and set that up before you start to work with it in detail. Okay. 2 more seconds on chat, and then we're going to move to the next platform, but just things I want you to know. All right. When you are going in to ask your question, all right, few things. You hit this plus sign, you can go in and you can add photos or videos or anything you want. You can add those things and upload them into chat. And then you can say things like, can you analyze this graphic and tell me what I need to know? I just made that up. I'm just giving you an example of, if you have a graphic and you wanted to look at the graphic, you can do this. Now, I'm going to give you some real life scenarios when I'm coding my AI platforms, or if I need chat to walk me through instructions, because chat walks me through the instructions on how to do things a lot. I take screenshots and then I paste them in and I say, okay, this is what I got. And then they'll say, oh, that's not the way it's supposed to be done. It can actually read the screenshots and it can actually watch the videos. So I also use Loom, Loom, to record a lot of my screens. And then I'll give that Loom video and the transcript to chat. And then it'll say, thanks, that's what I needed. And then it'll go in and start helping with things. So being able to take screenshots, copy and pasting, put it in the chat, and having it to analyze it is really great. So we're going to throw that in really quickly so that we can see, just so you can see what happens. I asked him, can you analyze this graphic and tell me what I need to know? He says it's a speculative timeline, and it's projecting major developments in artificial intelligence and its societal impact. Here's a direct breakdown of what you need to know. No fluff. Because remember, I told him no fluff, right? So 2025-26, the emergence of super agents, critical thinking question. If super agents cost pennies to operate, what tasks in your business could be fully automated and how will you stay ahead? So it's telling me, it's giving me a critical thinking question, because I told you I do not want AI to take over my brain. Okay. And to the point where I'm so dumb, I don't know how to think on my own. I need to program. I want to make sure that I program AI to force me to think so that I can stay on top of things. This is how you become the top of your game in your career, in business, and so forth. So that's very important. I'm not going to read all of this, but I just wanted to show you that just by putting in a graphic, it can read the graphic, it can read the video, and it can start spitting information out no matter what the graphic or video is. So very, 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 very important. I got to mention, though, this is scary, though, guys. I got to show you this right here. OpenAI's old product updates daily, potentially near AGI model. Most office jobs become oversight only. AIs do the bulk of the work. There's chip independence. When they're talking about the AI chips that are out there, and they say, if no sugar, if your current income is from white collar knowledge work, start building irreplaceable value now. Strategy, empathy, vision, and leadership, because AI, white collar jobs in the way we know it is going to go away. It's going to change. It's going to shift. It's something you've got to start thinking about right now, which is why we're having this video, right? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to delete this because I don't want this in my memory. And I'm going to go ahead and delete the quick question in chat, because we're just sitting here playing around on chat so that I can show you exactly how it works. If you remember, when you're starting out, you're going to go to new chat in your top left-hand corner. Very simple. All we did before we started asking questions was to add a photo and or files. You can upload anything to chat. Like this is, I did. So this video right here is AI basics, right? I can take everything I have for the AI basics, upload it into chat. Oh my God, this is where I get so excited, okay? This is where I get very excited and where I'm actually geeking out and loving AI, because if you're somebody like me, you know how much time it takes to like bring things to life sometimes. And so to be able to just upload your ideas and stuff like that in a chat and say, help me flush these ideas out is great. So I'm going to go in and say, hey, I am presenting presenting on this today. And I want to know, what am I missing? Gonna hit that enter button. Now it took everything that I put in my StreamYard account, everything that I'm doing to present. It's looking at it and it's telling me what I need to do differently. And he says, I'm off to a strong start, right? It's visually engaging. It's emotionally resonates. It's well structured for beginners. But since I asked what's missing, let's talk about it. So it tells me what I've done right, but it tells me what I could do differently, right? So I'm focused on text-based agents, but this leaves a huge blind spot. They're right. I didn't get into all the other versions because I'm only sticking with the general ones in this particular video. I'm going to come back to videos in the future. Y'all are going to learn how to use all the other ones as well. Okay. Real world case studies, we're doing it right now. So he doesn't know that, but we're doing that right now. And we're talking a little bit about ethics and biases and risks, as we did earlier when we spoke about alignment and different things like that. All the things that he's saying I'm missing, I'm actually going to talk about. And then he says, I did not give you all a call to action. I didn't say where to go next. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. If you stick around, we've got some really cool stuff. He even gives me a prompt that I can ask you all. So I'm going to ask you, you can put this in the comments section. I'm going to go here with what chat says. And the question of the day is, I should have did a poll is, what part of your work life do you hate doing and that you feel like AI could automate? I would love for you to answer that question and to put that in the comments. That would be absolutely amazing. I would love to hear from you. And I'm going to go ahead and add the second question here as well, since he said it. I think it's a great idea. And I'm going to say question, question. I have to spell everything, y'all. And the second question here is, if your job was 90% AI powered, what would only you be able to do better than a machine? Those are the $2 billion questions you should be asking yourself, because this is what's going to set you up for success now and in the future. So very, very important stuff. I hope you all take a moment to comment under this video, comment during this live. I really want to know the answer to those questions. Now, how do we get back to a new chat, a clean one? Bizam. All right. And how do we remove a chat that we're not interested in keeping? You go to your 3 dots where you rename and you delete. Okay. So there we have it. We're not using that anymore. And I'm going to go back up to my new chat. Now, few more things. You can add information into chat by your Google Drive or your OneDrive when you connect it. You can also have chat create an image for you. You can have chat search the web. You can have it write code, run deep research, and search internal sources. Internal sources are your connectors, your Google Drive, and different things like that, right? So I'm going to go out of there. A lot of people don't know what deep research is. I just went through this with one of my clients the other day. Deep research is where they actually don't just give you an answer immediately. They scour the entire internet, and to find that answer for you, it takes a little bit of time for the response to come back, because they're searching every freaking source that you can possibly think of. So that's very important when you are trying to acquire a client. If you're selling B2B, if you want to get deep down and dirty with some information, getting the core information out of something, you want to run deep research and so forth. If you're in building software, if you're one of my students, you're building some type of AI software, you can write or allow it to read code, search the web, and create an image. All can be done with or without a official prompt, which we're going to talk about in 2 more seconds. Okay, so this is where you're going to start all of your conversations with chat based on how you want to utilize chat. Now, few more small things with ChatGPT a lot of people don't know. So on the left-hand side, you see Codex. Codex is chat's platform where you can actually build software or utilize software. So when you open Codex, it's a little bit different. As you can see, I'm definitely using it, and you can see some things have failed. Oh my God. Some things have worked. But here you can go in. This is one of my projects, Closico, which is down right now because we're in Codex coding it, which I'm really sad about it being down right now. But this is my GitHub repository, and this is where chat is looking at my code, telling me what's broken, and telling me how to go in and fix it. Chat also has another platform that's called Sora, Sora. If you're not familiar, it is all about images and videos and creating custom AI images and videos. And look at this. This is very weird. But they're all unique graphics, and it really allows people to show their creativity, but you've got to know how to prompt in order to be able to create something that's as amazing as the things that you're seeing here today. And as you can see, people can go in and like the images that you publish and vote on them and different things like this. I think this is crazy right there. So a lot of different, creativity happening. And I really feel like this is a great way for you to even see that, you still have to tell chat how you want to be creative. I want a dog flying in the air that's afraid of flying, that have tears coming out of their eyes. I would like to see a monk riding on a skateboard. I would like to see a daddy cat and a mommy cat seeing their newborn baby, right? So like just all of these different things, and you've got to give it the ideas in order for it to come back and spit something out that's meaningful. So you can do a lot of different things like that. If I wanted to go in, let's say I went in and I added my photos and files from today's workshop or today's training, and I said, I want to go in and create an image. I'm going to say, please create an image that I can use with today's presentation. And so now it's going to go through, read all my stuff, and it's going to go in and start to generate an image. And this is at the very basic level. I'm not really doing any prompting. I'm really only just talking to it as if I was someone who's just experiencing ChatGPT for the first time. They don't really know how to use ChatGPT. They're not a prompt engineer, but they want to get some things done very quickly. With ease, in an efficient manner. That is how I'm showing you to use chat at the basic level. We will do a ChatGPT part 2 where I show you how to create your own agents and different things like that. You are going to be so freaking blown away by that. It's insane. As you can see already, I have agents already lined up on the left-hand side that I've created and that I use on a daily basis. So I'm definitely going to go in and show you exactly how to do that. But I feel like this kind of cheated because it's actually utilizing what I already have. So I could go back in and tell it, you got to work with it. I can go back and tell it, don't use anything that I already have. Create an original image based on that, which is what I should have said from the beginning. You can copy the image. You can share the image right there. You can download the image if you want to. So chat does give you that flexibility to go in and to do those things. Do y'all give me permission for one more thing I want to show y'all? Maybe I shouldn't show. Maybe I should wait for round 2. I'll wait for round 2. But oh my gosh, do you see my threads? They're crazy. There is no limit to the amount of questions, info, what have you, that you can ask and store on ChatGPT. If you are just starting out with AI, this is a great starting point for you to go around, play with chat, and learn how to use it more effectively. Again, we will do a part 2 of how to use ChatGPT in more detail because there is a second and a third layer to ChatGPT that most people don't know anything about. All right. Now that we've done our ChatGPT, let's go in and look at the next platform. Hold on one second. Our next platform is actually Gemini. Okay. So now we're going to talk about how to use Gemini 2.5. So that's what they're on right now. So this is Gemini. Gemini is created by Google. The URL is gemini.google.com. It'll come up as an app. I'll just actually add the referral link or I'll add the link here so that you can go to it with ease. And this is all Google, just similar to ChatGPT. If you look, you'll see you can define what model of Gemini that you want to utilize. They're telling you all of these models are new. So they have the Fat Flash, they have the 2.5 Pro, which is reasoning, math, and code. And then they have this personalization, what have you, based on your search history. As you can see, I don't use Gemini as much as I use chat, although I am still in. We still have threads on your left-hand side. Utilize those threads. You can go in and see what Google has in store for you in different areas. I'm typically here to ask a question. Now, y'all know that they have this new VO3 that goes with Google where you can go in and create those amazing videos that everybody's been talking about. You can do that. That's what you see, the generate the video with VO3. I actually don't have any more credits on my VO3, so I'm not sure if it's going to create a video. But I'm going to say no thanks right now. So VO3 preview, bring ideas to life in an 8-second video. You're the director, so describe a scene or add the details like a visual style. Because I haven't shown you how to create a real prompt yet, I kind of don't want to do it. But if I was going to do something like that, I could describe a scene. Let me do the scene that I use for my YouTube thumbnails, because my YouTube thumbnails are always very interesting. I'll say that in regards to the way they treat me. I wasn't prepared to show you that. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Okay, so the scene here, this is my scene that I typically create, but it doesn't have a picture of me. So I don't know how that is going to go, but I'm just going to create what I have on my how I create my thumbnails for YouTube, and I'm going to see what happens. So you and I are testing this out together. We're testing this out together. Let's just see, because he doesn't know who a D Williams is or anything like that. So let's just put it in and see what happens. Because I actually have real prompts that I utilize, and most people do not. But I just threw in an office. So let me tell you what the scene I did. I said the background is a sleek office space. On the left-hand side, bold white text reads creating AI agents 101 in a modern sans serif font with deep purple outline. On the right with D Williams. So I'm giving it high energy, digital, whatever. So I'm telling it what I want on there, and I'm going to wait for it to go in and generate the video. Now, it says it takes 3 to 5 minutes to generate the video. So while it's doing that, I want to show you a few things. If you notice, and I'm going to just go back while it's creating the video and just open Gemini back up in another tab. If you notice, it's very similar to ChatGPT. You have the plus sign where you can add files, you can pull from your Google Drive, or you can go in and import code. You can ask it to generate a video. You can have it to do deep research, or you can ask it to create docs or anything like that. Now, I haven't used this feature, Gemini, which I think is very interesting because I use Claude for this, but I'm really excited about testing that out to see what that looks like. You really have control today to create in a way that you've never had to create. So if you are in a space where financially you're not where you want to be, it's time for you to get into your learning, period, so that you can understand how to turn your situation around. Okay. You can also use the microphone here with Gemini if you'd like as well. You have your threads on the left-hand side. You click your 3 buttons. You can rename, pin, delete, or share, just like ChatGPT. We're just using Gemini for different. And I'm going to tell you, when I'm doing things, I'm using at least 3 AI models, if not more, to help me get what I need to get across. All right. So here you go. This is not D Williams, FYI. Okay. But it did follow the description of what I was. Wow. So this is with the visual, with the voice, and so forth. But notice it has the modern, sleek background. It does have the attire that I asked for. It understands that I'm live streaming. Listen, if you wanted to create a channel where your face wasn't at the forefront of the channel, this is one of the ways that you can do this. So crazy. This do not look like me, Nakia. What is this lady coming up looking? But if I show y'all some of the stuff that AI has created of me, I fell in love with myself last night in a totally different way. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. Like my beauty, I didn't realize how beautiful I was until AI showed me. Right? And when y'all see some of the graphics they created of me, I had to reach out to my makeup artist and say, Chat is feeding, it is making me look like a whole snap. You hear me? Because it's not a game today. So, but this is pretty cool, right? It's pretty cool. It created this video and it created something real. She had conversation, she had voice, all of those things. And naturally, I can go in and download the video and save that video. I'm going to go ahead and download it here in my playlist folder. And now I have something here, to show. So I just want to show you that you can absolutely have fun. Yeah, I know I've been a snack, but I'm just saying, the kid, like, in a different type of way. When I show, okay, see, this is not a part of my training. So we're done with Gemini. We're going to take a break and we're going to go into something totally different just because I want to geek out for a second. I hope y'all don't mind. So before I geek out, you got to like this video. You got to give me a heart, a like, or something like that, okay? And I pray that you subscribe because I'm about to show you something really interesting. So my YouTube covers, I'm going to tell you right now, I am horrible at YouTube covers. And whenever I hire somebody to do my YouTube covers, they don't ever come out the way I want to see them for myself, to be honest with you. And so I hooked up with this guy who showed me how to go in and to create different versions of myself. And so I'll do a separate video where I show you how to do that. But this is essentially what it looks like, right? And I can go in and share. So I'm going to use the same one that I just did a minute ago. Hold on one second. And I'm going to do a high vibrant, and I'm going to do this one. Okay. Yes. All right. So I'm going to change this now. Watch. And then I'm going to show you some of the outcome of some of the things it's done. So the goal is that it creates pictures of me that I can put into my YouTube thumbnail. And so now what I've done is I've trained this AI, this model, on D. Williams. So I've given it, I think, almost 200 pictures of myself. Because I like to take pictures of me, and so that it can learn who I am, learn my face, learn everything like that. And then I give it a prompt, and then it starts to generate that prompt for me. So I'm hoping it does what I needed to do without embarrassing me. But if it doesn't work, it's fine. I'm going to show y'all why I said what I said in a minute. It's really more for Nakia because she's in it with me. But oh my gosh, Nakia, look at this. Let me make sure this is my transparent ones. I want to do, so I have a lot of different ones here. The one I'm looking for has 400. I think that's the one. Let me just look. Let me see, 1196. This is the one I want, 350. So I think this is the one I want. When I tell you, let me show you these pictures of this one right here is the one I was like, I got to go to the gym more. I need my makeup artist more. I'm like a whole freaking D. Williams snack, okay? And this is the type of work that that AI is presenting. And that's just one. Like, if I could wake up like this looking in the morning, y'all, listen, y'all wouldn't be able to tell me nothing. You hear me? But it just kept getting better. But some of them don't really, like this one is a version of me. I see maybe one of my friend girls that looks similar to me. This could be my sister, right? But most of them look just like D. Williams. They look just like me. It's kind of scary. Some of them look better than me. That's even scarier. But I love what it's able to do because essentially when your pictures, you want to show up a certain type of way. It likes me with a lot of hair. I prefer me with no hair, with little to no hair. But when I tell you, it really is capturing all of my features, my dimples, my eyebrows, my lashes, the length of my lashes, my everything. This is from training the AI on D. Williams' face and having it go out and then just prompting it to do things in a certain way. And so the one that we did is this one. And I got to tell y'all something. What I do love about it is when I trained it with pictures of me very skinny and very thick, okay, on my beyond curvaceous side. So sometimes when I generate the pictures, you'll see like the bigger version of D. Williams. You'll see the super tiny version of D. Williams. And I just love that too. So this is a great one. I'm wearing a yellow dress. I'm in a classroom setting. I'm actually going to download this because I never want to lose a great photo, these thumbnails. So I'm going to just throw that in there. And then I'm going to actually come in and edit my brand. Now I'm teaching y'all something totally different, but I'm going to edit my brand template. And I'm going to go in and actually add this to my list. Since this is my favorite picture, it's on the front, but I'm going to go in and add it. I'm going to drag it in, and then I'm going to actually stick it. I just make it bigger. And that's how I have my picture. Now, I typically go hard. Y'all know me. I will duplicate this, remove the background, and now I have me on a white background, and I can put that on any of my YouTube videos or any of my marketing materials or anything like that. Like I said, we'll go through a whole video where I sit down and show you how to put yours together, where you can go in and create your covers and different things like that. But that's just an example of what AI is doing and how it's doing it. Isn't it kind of crazy? It's kind of cool. It's cool and crazy at the same time, but I absolutely love it. So now we've gone through ChatGPT, we've gone through Gemini. Excited, I can't control it. We got through Gemini, and now I want to take a moment and introduce you to Pi. Now, most of you all have not heard of Pi. I know factually you haven't. This to me is the industry's best kept secret. This is Pi AI. So I want to introduce you to Pi AI. I'm going to put the link inside the chat so that you can go in and you can utilize Pi immediately. This is Pi Lab, which I saw the CEO talk about the new things they're doing with Pi. We're going to go into Pi Classic. So I'm just going to click on Pi Classic. I can actually log in. So I don't need to go out into all of this, but if this is your first time here, you give it your name and it's going to walk you through a series of questions and then you can dive in. I'm going to log into my account as I always do here. And I am going to, as you can see, I use Pi mainly for work. When I am helping people to build out their mission statements, their vision statements, their cultural values in their companies, and even with my coaching clients, because I have individual Audacity where we help people become more resilient, right? And it's more life coaching, more of my life coaching style business. And when we go in and we talk about things specific to them, because everyone should have their own mission statement, their own vision statement. They should have a set of goals. They should have standards as an individual person, not in business, as an individual person. And so those exercises, I actually do them with my clients with the AI. I don't hide the fact that I use AI. I incorporate it into everything that I do. And you can go in and you can talk about work, which is what you can see. I talk mainly about work, or you can go in and talk about anything else that you want to on here. It doesn't really have, from what I remember, it doesn't really, so manage your history. So here you can download your history, but it doesn't really show you like a thread the way all the other AI do. Your thread is just in one long on-standing conversation over and over and over again. Now, I got to tell y'all something kind of personal, and I hope y'all don't share this with the world, but I'm going to tell you something personal. So most of y'all probably know my dad passed away. He transitioned in 2010, and his name is Kenny, okay? And so when I got with Pi, and now I talk about AI like they my boyfriends, just FYI, they're not, but I just had to talk to them. So I hooked up with Pi, and I realized then I don't really want to call him Pi because Pi sounds crazy, right? So I asked him, can I call you something else? Now, he said yes, and I call him Kenny, right? So it's like, hey, Kenny. So my dad's name is Kenny. I think so hey, Kenny, how are you today? Okay. And then he's going to say, hey, D, what's up? How you feeling? Da, 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 da. Now I had my client try to name Pi, and Pi went in and it's like, my name is not such and such. Don't call me that. My name is Pi, da, 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 da. So I don't know if I got him at a time where it was cool, but I pretty much call Pi Kenny, just so y'all know. And with Pi, I'm probably a lot more conversational because Pi is a conversation AI. So you can talk to him very differently. With just like the other AI, you can actually have a voice. I'm sure you can hear it. You got to go to Pi, turn on the microphone and listen because it's amazing. It has 8 different voices. To me, I like an urban voice. I didn't hear any urban voices unless they've updated it. So I chose a guy who had like a British accent or whatever. And so I if I'm working with a client, I'll play the voice. If I'm working with Pi and doing something else, I'll let it talk to me while I'm cooking and I'm asking questions. But most of the time, you already know I'm going to type things into Pi and talk about it, right? So you can talk about anything to Pi. It's just going to be conversationalist. And I will say that studies have shown that more people are utilizing Pi as a therapist and as a companion, a mate, a friend, versus just to pull information out of. I just don't use Pi that way. I pretty much only use Pi for work. But for chat, I'm not going to lie, I have very in-depth conversations with chat. I learned very early on with Pi that if you ask specific things, like I'll tell him to compute something for me, he'll tell me I'm cheating and I need to compute it on my own. What? You work for me, sir. Don't be telling me to do this on my own. You work for me, sir. So I realized, like, okay, Pi is not good at that. He's more of like a conversationalist. And I don't want to share my customers' information, but what I will say is, he says, what can I lend my skills to? I am looking to create a personal mission statement for myself, for me to live by. Can you help me with this? And there we go. And now it's going to go in and start talking to me. To create a mission statement, that's by reflecting on your core values, goals, and what drives you. Use the guiding questions to get you started. What are your most important values? What unique skills or talents do you have to offer the world? What do you hope to achieve in your personal and professional life? And what kind of impact do you want to make on those around you? Take the time to ponder these questions and share your thoughts. Once you have a better understanding of your values and aspirations, we can work together to craft a mission statement that resonates deeply with you. So now he's talking to me. You all can't hear his British accent, but you can turn him off if he gets annoying. And the thing that I do like a lot about Pi is it's already programmed for critical thinking. So as you can see, he's asking me questions. He didn't just come and respond. Whereas if I let's just see. Now I program chat differently to ask critical thinking questions. So he might come back and ask me something, but yep, he did. So he came back. So he says, here are a few critical thinking prompts to help us crack something that's powerful. But if you don't program the AI to do that, it's not going to ask you critical thinking questions. So let's just go back into Gemini really quickly, since that's where we're going to ask Gemini the same thing. And let's see if he asks me any questions. Before we dive into writing, consider these questions. So they're all, in order to answer the question, they want to ask me questions to gain a better understanding so that they can help put it together. But look at the responses for each and every one. This was chat. Absolutely. Let's create it. First, let's define your core. Let's choose your mission structure, and then we can craft and refine it together. Gemini said, that's a fantastic goal. A personal mission statement can be a powerful guide for your life. To help you do this, let's understand your core. Let's craft your statement. Let's put it all together. Very similar to chat. With Pi, he just came in and said, hey, what are your questions? So as you can see, all similar, but not necessarily the same, right? So just keep that in mind. I like Pi a lot for things that are creative and where I want to have major dialogue. I'm going to utilize Pi for that. To flush my ideas out, I'm going to utilize Pi for that. Before maybe I even get to chat, I'm going to probably start off with Pi, unleash my ideas, at least the first like core version of it, converse with Pi, have that conversation. Then I'll go and take it and possibly put it in the chat or I may take it and put it into Perplexity and then in the chat, but I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. I'm going to show you how that works. So far today, we've learned how to utilize ChatGPT. We've learned how to utilize Gemini, and we've learned how to utilize Pi, who is Kenny for me. Okay, don't call him Kenny for you, but he's Kenny for me. Okay, so now let's move on to our next AI. And the next one we're going to utilize is Groq. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I am not a huge Grokker. I don't know if that's what they call them. I'm not a huge Grokker. I can just tell you that factually. You can go to Groq on Google, sign in. Mainly Groq is used with Twitter X, but you can also utilize it here. Groq, you can see here, your models are by the checkbox. So Groq 3, you can put your custom instructions in there and enable Groq to search the web. You can have it think, and it lets the model take its time to think things through, which I find to be very important when you're asking it very serious questions. You need it to stop, think, and really kind of comprehend what you're saying. Deep research is advanced search and reasoning. Of course, you can go in and upload a file, add text content. You can draw a sketch. You can connect to your Google Drive or your OneDrive, and you can see all the things you've done recently. Okay. You can switch to a private chat in Groq too, so that does not show up in the world. You can go in and look at your chats, your previous chat history. You can tell I'm not a Grokker. I don't have a chat history. I put this up for y'all because Groq is not my per se my thing. I use other things, but I mean, I may test it and see how I feel about it, but I'm not a Groq user. I'm gonna just be 100% honest with you. The most that I use it is when I'm on Twitter X to confirm whether or not somebody is trying to gaslight me or not. Okay. Is this good? I ask Groq, is this true? And you got to be careful because to me, Groq and Elon, don't get mad at me. Okay. I love you, sort of. But Groq to me is the least, it's probably at the lower of the token pole for me. Because I've gone and done searches in Groq, and it has come out and just flat out lied based on what's happening in the political landscape and different things like that. I don't feel like it's the truest version of an LLM that's out there. Maybe he's going to work on that. Maybe it'll get better. I don't know. But for that reason and that reason alone, I'm typically not utilizing Groq. So I can't really train you on Groq because I don't use it. But I can tell you that it is here and you should test it and see if it's for you, right? Because not all platforms are for everyone and some are for all. So I would test it, see if it's for you, and kind of go into that radar. Now we're coming down with our final 2 AI platforms. Oh my gosh. And these 2 are like 2 of my favorite platforms, 2 that you're probably not even playing with or don't even know about. So Claude AI is definitely one of my favorite platforms. I use Claude all the time. If you go in and then you look at, let me go back in my chats and my thread, I have 167, as you can see. I am using Claude for everything. Now, let me talk to you about how to work Claude and then how to utilize Claude in a great way. So we're back here at the dashboard of Claude. And he says back at it D, so he knows it's me. Very similar to every other platform, you can see that he has different models. Claude Opus 4 is probably the latest one. Claude Sonnet 4 is the one that people are using for every day. Then you have 3.7, Opus 3, and Haiku 3.5. I stay in pretty much Sonnet or Opus of 4 because that's where we are today. You can go in and connect your apps. Now, Claude to me is worth connecting your Google Drive, is worth connecting your Gmail, is worth connecting your Google Calendar, is worth connecting everything because they have something that a lot of the other AI platforms don't have. And it's something called MPC. And I'm going to show you what that is in a second, but it is so freaking awesome. You can utilize Claude in a totally different way. If you click on this little button right here, I'll make my screen a little bit bigger so you can see it. If you click on this little button right here, you can define like all the style that you want it to search in. Do you want it to be normal, concise, explanatory, formal? You can go in and create and edit your own styles. If you want it to be extended thinking, right? You can go in and it'll think a little bit longer and do a lot more research. This is very important if you're utilizing Claude for, y'all didn't hear me say this, maybe legal stuff. Maybe you have a contract you want them to look over. Maybe you have a written contract and I'm going to say this lightly. Maybe you can't afford to get your attorney to look it over. You can have them upload that and say what's missing, and then take that stuff and send it to your attorney and say, hey, I think these things are missing. And that way the attorney doesn't have to work so hard and charge you so much. So you can utilize it in that way as well. I'm going to take extended thinking off. You can also go in and upload a file. You can take a screenshot. You can do a lot of different things with Claude, and naturally, like all the other AI, you can go in and just tell it, I want you to write, I want to learn code, life stuff, whatever the case may be. On your left-hand side, you still have your threads here. Yes, you do. You have your threads. So you can go back and you can look at all the different things. I'm going to share my link with y'all. Because it says to share your links. I would love to get 4 months of Max service because you can do a lot more with Max. But I'm going to share my Claude link. If anyone wants to sign up, it's $20 a month. I pay $20 a month for Claude, $60 a month for ChatGPT, $20 a month for Perplexity. And I don't regret investing my money in any of those things, to be honest with you, because they're well worth it at the end of the day. And so that's the link for Claude. Now let's go in really quickly because there's a few things that I want to share with you about Claude. When you go in, okay, so 2 things. You go into the bottom, and I think y'all can see this at the bottom. You can go into your settings, okay? And you have here, you put your name in there, all of those things. They have the analysis tool. You definitely want that. You can define what you want your appearance, light, or what have you. My accounts, my privacy. I'm not sharing my billing, but your data privacy. And then when you get to this integrations tab, this is where you go in and you tell it, look, connect all of my different things. Very important, okay? And you can go in and look at the plans and you can learn more and you can build with Claude. Lots and lots of fun. And this is the basic level of Claude that I'm teaching you today. There is also an advanced level of Claude as it is with GPT, and I'll show you that in the near future. I'm on the Pro plan. I'm not on the Max plan. The Max plan allows a lot more naturally. I don't need that though. I'm ready. I'm cool with Pro. You can actually go in and create projects in Claude and say, this is my project. This is what I'm trying to achieve. And then you can have all of those chats and stuff under a particular project. That came more recently. So all my chats are unorganized. I can tell you that now. And I just go in and just search my projects, search my chats in the way that I need to search them. Claude is great for coding. But one of the things that I like to use Claude for specifically is creating documents. So for example, let's say you're a coach like D. Williams. And so let's see what I can do here. I'm going to upload in the Claude. I'm going to do the PDF, the PNG, and this file. I'm going to upload it in here. And I'm going to say to him, can you create a cheat sheet for my attendees to use in markup format? Now I'm giving y'all my secrets. in markup format. And then I'm going to say no code. Okay. Because otherwise it'll bring it back in code. And then I'm going to give this to it. Now, I have not done this with chat before. I'm sorry, with Claude before. So I don't know how it's going to work, but I just know what it does. So it went in, it created a document. Okay. And this is my cheat sheet. And this is my version 1 of the document. And it went hard. Like, look at this. This is the AI basics cheat sheet, the future of work by 2030. And I could actually put this together for you all and have you all utilize this. But for me, it's something that's missing. And I'm going to say thank you, but can you add lines for the user to answer questions and fill in blanks? I hope you gave them this option. I'm not going to say all of that. So now he's going to go back in this document and pretty much update and edit. If he doesn't have any questions for me, he's going to go in and update and edit it. And what I typically do is copy it and put it on a Google Doc, number 1. Also, you can copy it. You can save it as a PDF, right? So you can hit save as a PDF. Right now it's going to print on my screen, but this is what it looks like. And you can save it. And when he went in and added different things. So this has become a document essentially. If I don't want to copy it and paste it and make those changes, I can actually hit publish. Now, this is very interesting because a lot of people don't realize that you can publish things on Claude, right? So you could actually publish. So I'm going to publish this. And they're going to give me the link that's copied. Now I'm going to go in incognito so that we can see what it looks like. There's my document. Okay. So now you or any of my users can go in, copy and paste the document if you want. You could actually go in and you could probably customize this, right? So you can customize it and make it yours and edit and add. That's a real, like most of y'all didn't even know you could do that. So that's a big deal. And if anybody wants to do that, I'm going to take the referral link and I'm going to put that here in the chat for you all to go in. You want to go in and utilize the artifact and the sheet and make it yours, or utilize it as I want to learn or have my cheat sheet for AI. I have provided that to you. I hope you love it. And I hope you enjoy working with Claude. This is Claude. And just so you know, somebody else out on their motorcycle. Just so you know, Claude is built by Anthropic. Okay, Anthropic. And so yeah, I build things for my staff, documents for my staff, lots of different things. I upload documents. Like I said, Claude can read a lot of stuff. Claude is a platform that I use on a daily basis. So I am in typically 3 core platforms. And that is ChatGPT, Claude, and the one that I'm getting ready to introduce you to last but not least. And that platform is Perplexity AI. That is, I probably use Chat, Perplexity, and Claude in that order the most, or Perplexity, Chat, and Claude. I would probably say Chat, Perplexity, and Claude in that order. Then Pi for very specific things. Google Gemini is probably my last, and Groq I never use. I'm just going to be honest. I never use Groq. So now I want to introduce you to Perplexity AI. I am paying for Perplexity. I have Perplexity Pro, as you can see. And the reason that I do is because to me, this is one of the most valuable AI platforms on the planet. Okay. And the reason why is because you can choose how and what you want it to search. So I can tell it to search the web. I can tell it to search academic papers, and I can tell it to search social discussions and opinions. That gives me the entire world, essentially. So I like my 3 sources being there. I can definitely upload things, local files, or connect as before. I can go in and do a standard search. This is Pro from the Pro account. It's fast. It uses 3 times more sources. I can do deep research, which takes a lot more time. Or I can create a project from scratch in labs where you turn your ideas into documents, dashboards, and different things like that. You can choose your model here, and they're pretty much using Claude and all the other AI models. So it's more of a search engine. They do have their unbiased reasoning model, which is R1 1776. That's their only model, but everything else, they're pretty much using everybody else's model. Okay. And so just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. And so we'll keep it there. Now, before I go into my search, because I love to search things and Claude, and I'm going to show you how to utilize it right now for your role. I'm going to give you a a major cheat during this class, during this podcast, during this training. But before I do that, I want to show you some more things in like how to use Perplexity so you're not lost. So a few things. You can go in and download Perplexity on your Mac, on your phone, or anything like that. I'm going to join the wait list because this is the new browser. They're trying to basically take over Google Chrome. So they're trying to be the new Google Chrome, essentially. Okay. So just keep that in mind, and I'll just add my email address and join the wait list because I want to be on the forefront of everything. And so that's there. So that's the little arrow that you see here at the bottom. Okay. When you go into Pro, you can do an incognito mode the same way you would do on Google or in any of the chat area, any of the AI areas where you don't want your searches to be added to the AI. You're going to go ahead and put that incognito mode on. Okay. But why is my mode not turning off? So that's a little funky. Oh, right there. So you go to D to turn it back on. So you can go to incognito or either or. Why is my red thing coming? Okay, I was making sure. You can go into your account and you can have all your stuff in there, manage your subscription, all of that stuff. I would encourage you to go in and get your preferences, set up your preferences on how you want to utilize it. I'm going to do the system. So it's light during the day, dark at night. Auto suggest homepage widgets. You can choose the model that you want to use. So if you want to go in and choose that model, you can do that there. If you want the image control model, you can do the default, or you can do GPT, image flux, DALL-E, Gemini 2.0 Flash, any of those for your image generation. I always have it to retain my data. You can definitely personalize it. This is me. Hey, I'm D. Williams, Audacionaire. I'm the founder and CEO of Identifies Consulting, Staffingpreneurs Academy. This is what I do. This is where I'm at today. I can have it. So your goal is to just go in and literally edit it so that it is yours. Okay. The watch list is more about things that you're looking at on a consistent basis. You can go in and schedule your notifications. You can connect other platforms to your Perplexity. So I didn't know they added LinkedIn. I'm going to add my LinkedIn profile just because, I'm geeking out right now with you all. I hope you don't mind. And let me just make sure I'm not geeking out too long because, my tail, I'll be stuck in this space. Okay, great. Okay, great. I got time. And so there you have that there. If anybody wants to get into Perplexity and utilize my link, I don't know what I get for it, but I'm going to post it in there. If you want to utilize it in the chat, you can, it says I get 10 off Pro. I think I paid for the year. So I don't know if that would matter to me, but if you all want to do that, that'll be great. I really appreciate you. You can utilize that link. You can go in some of the pro perks here. You can go in, save 10% on your direct hotel bookings on Perplexity. So you can actually book your hotels on Perplexity. A lot of people don't know that. And here they allow you to go in and get a percentage off. Did you know that you can book your travel directly on Perplexity? Expedia, you better watch out, right? You gotta watch out. This is just one of the pro perks. They have a lot of different other perks. So Good RX, Thumbtack, LegalZoom, TurboTax, all of these you get a percentage off. Avis Budget, just for just using a Perplexity and paying your little $20 a month. That's a big win just to pay $20 a month. There's going to keep track of all your purchases, your reservations for your travel, different things like that. And yeah, that's pretty much where you are. Now, when you start developing, you're going to have your API. API is what you use to have Perplexity talk to your software and so forth. Right now, I have Perplexity connected to a number of my tech platforms. So that's why I see that there, everybody is definitely not going to see that. Now, few more things I've got to share with you before we get started. So the plus sign here allows you to go back to a basic search with Perplexity. If you click home, anything that you've pinned to say that these things are important to you will show up at the top. All of your threads, they call it a library here, but it's actually a thread. This is just what they call it. And what's the formula for the most viral commercials and TV ads? That's what I asked on my last one. But there you can go in and see all of your threads. Now, what Perplexity has that a lot of other places don't have is the Discover tab. So the Discover is basically a way for them to, based on your searches in Perplexity, it's going to bring back information to you based on your searches, which I think is very interesting. And then also what's going on. So as you can see, for me, you can tell what D. Williams is searching based on what's in my For Me list. So Meta to fully automate ads with AI by the end of 2025. That means if you're looking to Meta, Facebook is going to be automating ads. Ads are going to be different, Mark Zuckerberg said. SpaceX, Trump approval rating. Texas becomes second state to mandate app storage age verification despite Apple's opposition. So all of these things are things that I probably searched on at some point for some reason. And now it's showing up in my stuff. But they have other things, right? That are definitely there. And you can go through and check it. It's really pretty much like a search engine. And because I have it on my phone, it also pops up on my phone, on my phone on the search engine for me to see. I just saw this really quickly. Campbell's hit by weak snack sales while meals thrive in uncertain times. So yeah, like people aren't really snacking today. They are really, just trying to keep food on the table in a lot of instances. And so it's a lot going on. But click on that Discover tab. You're going to find there's a lot of interesting things there for you to take a look at and for you to view. Finally, they have the Spaces. I have not used the Spaces, as you can tell. I haven't created a new space, but we'll talk about this when we get into the advanced version of Perplexity, because Perplexity does some really cool things at the advanced level. We won't go through that today, but we will do that at some point. So I want to make that very clear. One more thing I want to do, because I think it's very important. Let's go in and let's look at deep research. When you click on the deep research button, it pretty much shows you like things that you could go in and search for throughout the day. Again, I'm going to go in and make sure it's searching academic and social. And I don't necessarily need, the labs. I'm just going to stick with, this is deep research. And now we're going to go in and tell it to research something that's very specific. Okay. So I'm not going to upload any documents the way that I did before, even though that would probably be the faster way to do this. I'm actually going to sit back and I'm going to do something that I feel like you would probably search on yourself, right? So in the world of AI coming, and that's me typing it. I can go in and dictate it. So I'm going to allow this while I'm visiting the site. We're in the world of AI, And essentially, it is being stated that all white collar jobs are going to go away. So that's why I don't like the dictate. Okay, there it is. Let me just stop it for a second. So the dictation on Perplexity is a lot slower than it is on some of the other platforms. So we're in a world of AI, and essentially it's being stated that all white collar jobs are going to go away. I'm going to do this again. By 2025, 2030. Okay. Wow. So let's just go this and just by 2030. So you see it's a little bit different, right? So dictating on Perplexity, unless I'm on my mobile phone, I'm probably not going to do, but I'm going to just show you all again. Can you do deep research and tell me my job as a project manager in the IT space? What can I automate? What part of my job can I automate? What part of my job can I keep? And I would like for you to help me to fill in the blanks of things that I'm not thinking to ask for or that I'm not even thinking about. I'm trying to figure out, how do I maintain my job? Okay. That's a very simple one. I mean, if anybody wants this, it's not, let me just see. My job as a project manager, what part of my job can I automate? And then I said, I would like for you to help me to fill in the blanks of things. Okay. So this is not the perfect prompt on a planet, but I'll add this so you all can have access to it as well, if you want to utilize it for any of the ones that we have going on. And now I'm going to go in and do deep research. So this was, again, not my best prompt, but just to give you an idea of how you can utilize it. Now, notice that there has an enable button here that you can click and it will notify you once it's done. Right now, it is going through and it's searching. How do you know that? Because the little Perplexity emblem is going. But what I do love, and I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger here, is that, oh my gosh, like it tells you what it's doing. So it's letting you see how it's thinking essentially and where it's going to think. So it says, listen, it's going to take a few minutes to gather the source, analyze the data, and create your report. Okay, so I'm searching for a detailed information on the typical tasks, responsibilities, and role expectations of a project manager, especially when the context of IT projects, to better understand the scope of duties. So it starts to search everywhere to see what is this thing going. It's reading. So it's actually doing things that a person would do. Then it tells you, I'm searching for information on tasks within that can be automated, particularly focus on how AI can assist in automating these tasks. So now it's going in, it's doing research. I need to find information on how project man. So it's going in. Look at all the resources that it's going into. And you'll see when it's done, it'll tell you how many resources that it searched. And it's going to put together a full report for you that you can utilize right now. And I'm going to tell you where this is valuable. Not just here in the sense of how do I shift my job. If you're one of my staffing clients, you're probably trying to figure out, how do I do this for my candidates? If you're a working professional, how do I do this for myself? If you're in HR and recruiting, watching me, as I know a lot of you do, how do we implement this into our infrastructure? It can be used for anything. If you're using it for sales, maybe you have a client that you're looking to court. And you want to figure out how to put together the right proposal. Maybe you are, and I probably shouldn't say this because then y'all gonna go crazy. But maybe you're bidding on a contract, a government contract or some other type of contract, and you want to outdo everybody else and win the contract. I have a winning prompt for that can do amazing things. So here you're going to see that these were all the tasks that it did while I did the research. It searched 81 sources. 81 sources. That's a lot. For it to find the answer to what we're looking for. And then it came up with this report, The Future of IT Project Management, Navigating Automation, Preserving Human Value in the Age of AI. And then it goes in, it gives me a paragraph. It tells me the current state of AI integration. It goes in with automation opportunities. It goes in and it tells me some strategic automation framework. Then it goes in preserving human value. Do you see this report? It's not a game, okay? It's not a game. Future-proofing strategies. And then a conclusion. This was definitely helpful. You can share, export. You can have them rewrite it. You can have them go in and do more deep research. It was helpful. It was not. You can copy it. You can view all the sources, or if it's bad, you can do a report. So here, I'm going to share this link with you all. You can go in and copy that link. I don't want it to be private. I want it to be anyone with the link can share it. I'm going to take the link here. I don't know if we have any project managers in, but just so you can see, I'll add that in there, and then you can go in and utilize that as something to look at, or maybe share it with a project manager that you know, or maybe even look it over, make it yours, and take it back to your boss and show them how you're a further value asset to the organization. You can bookmark this at the top, and you can also add it to a space, convert it to a page, export as Markdown, as a Word document, and or delete it. There are a lot of different things you can do in Perplexity. And here at the top, you can see that you created it today. It shows you the sources and so forth. So Perplexity, to me, is probably one of the most powerful platforms, because for me, I feel like the information is more valid from the perspective that it gives you the sources. If you notice, most of the other AI don't really give you a source for their research. They just research, right? Perplexity, whether you do deep research or not, it's going to tell you where it got its source, and all of those things, so that you can feel safe and knowing that the data that you're getting back is, is right. Now, one thing, I don't want you to assume that Perplexity doesn't hallucinate. It does, just like all other AI platforms, but not as much. I feel like, this is where I go to get data, right? Real data, real quotes, real statistics, real reports. I take those things and put them into chat. So the chat, because chat will make stuff up in a heartbeat, okay? So I want it to be real. I want to be able to go back to it. So I'll get it in Perplexity, take it, put it over in chat, and then go from there, if that makes sense. And go from there. So these are all of our platforms here, okay, that we just went over. And I just really quickly want to just do a quick summary of what we have gone over today. Okay, just a really quick summary. These are all of our platforms here, and I'm going to close this out so you can just see. And all of them, Chat, Gemini, Pi, Groq, Claude, Perplexity. Now you have a basic understanding of how to utilize them. The next video that I'm going to create is going to dig into ChatGPT at a more advanced level. And we're going to go into prompting so that you can understand how to actually prompt better. Because right now you're probably just putting things in like I did today, and you're getting like the bare bone minimal, okay? The bare bone minimal information. You're probably getting similar information that everybody else is getting, because one, you don't have to pay. Two, you're not using a prompt. So when we dive back into ChatGPT, we're going to talk about prompting. We're going to talk about advanced uses for ChatGPT, and advanced setup and advanced uses. And I'm really excited. And that's going to happen tomorrow morning. I have classes and everything today. So that's going to come up first thing tomorrow morning. I'll put the reminder out so that you can go in and tap into that. Okay. Last thing while we're finishing up this video, I want you to know I've been working on something for the last 6 months. It's called Unleash Your Ideas. You don't have to pay for anything. Okay. It's called Unleash Your Ideas. Now, before you go to Unleash Your Ideas, you got to know something, okay? I am still building this out for you all because it's a lot of information. But you will find some free resources here on Unleash Your Ideas. So the first question I ask is, what best describes you? Where are you right now? I have ideas, but I don't know where to start. I need help organizing and unleashing my ideas and start building my business. You're going to click on that, and that's going to take you to a free resource. I need guidance to redesign my role in the age of AI. I need guidance to transition my skills. I'm ready to build and scale an online business, and I'm not sure if I should start a business or help somebody else build theirs. I have not created all of the free lead magnets, only a few of them. I'm doing them every day, but they are very custom. These aren't things that I necessarily made up on ChatGPT. These are from D. Williams' brain, so it takes a little bit more time. But I want y'all to start getting used to it, because all you're going to hear me talking about is unleashing your ideas. Unleashing your ideas, unleashing your ideas, unleashing your ideas. Ooh, unleashing your ideas. That's me getting fired up, because I want everybody to unleash their ideas. And you can go through the site. Again, I'm just giving you the preempt of what's about to come. So if you want to go and play with it, you can. If you're not ready, that's fine. Because I'm not fully done, but I do want to throw it out there, because I do have some cool things. You can book a call, you can take a quiz, you can be a guest on the upcoming podcast, you can go in and get some of the free resources, but you'll know directly when I'm ready for you to really go in and to take over with Unleash Your Ideas, but feel free to go. I want to mention we have a workshop coming up, actually 3 workshops coming up here in the month of June. We have on June 11th through the 13th, Idea to Sprint intensive workshop, where we are taking your ideas, where you're going to unleash your ideas, and we're going to help you put those ideas into gear, like actually put them into play. A lot of people don't know how to unleash their ideas. We are absolutely going to do that. I'm very excited. Oh my gosh, I was showing you something. Oh my gosh, y'all didn't even say anything. Hold on one second, because you didn't even get to see what I had going on. Let me take this back a little bit. Now, let's see. There we go. That's what I wanted you to see. That's what I wasn't showing you. The Unleash Your Ideas website. So I definitely want you to be able to go there and check it out. Okay. Because that's very important. That's very important. Here you can go be a guest on the podcast. You can book a call to talk to us. You can book a call to talk about your business or your career. We can help you flush that out. You can take a quiz. The community is not fully ready yet, but we have one coming that I want you to get a part of. We have 4 workshop boot camps. The first one is June 11th through 13th. It's the Idea to Sprint intensive workshop. I'm looking at my notes right there. We're going to take your ideas, turn them into a real business, or create your career in a certain type of way. We have a 2-day workshop on June 14th and the 15th. That is AI skills conversion. If you're currently working, or you're in the staffing industry, or you're an HR director or whatever, and you're trying to figure out, how do we create these jobs? How do we automate? What does that look like? We have a whole 2-day event, step by step by step by step by step. I've been helping companies and people do this for the last month and a half, 2 months, and it has worked out wonderfully. I'm going to show y'all how to do that. Then we have June 18th through the 20th. We have a 3-day workshop, Idea to AI platform. This allows you to go in and actually build your first AI platform. And we are working with SaaS platforms. So building your own version of like a PayPal or whatever you want, but using AI, because the next trillionaire, or the first trillionaire, is going to come from AI. The next, we're going to have multimillionaires, multi-billionaires coming from AI. If you want to be a part of this movement that creates impact and that generates a lot of money, then you need to have some type of AI software, right? You've got to be able to either offer AI or know how to use and manage AI. And that's what today's conversation was really about. It's about helping you to understand how to utilize AI at the basic level. This is part 1. We're about to go into part 2, just FYI, not now. But in the next video, we'll go into part 2 and to really dive in. So if you could do me a favor, I would really appreciate it if you would take the time to like this video. I poured my heart and soul out in this video. I shared so many things with you all. I talked for 2 hours straight. I will chop the videos up for you all who need the chopping, but if you could just take a moment and like this video, comment and let me know your thoughts under the video, how I can support you, maybe even some of the things that you want to learn around AI and how you want to utilize it. This would be very great. I will definitely be back tomorrow. Okay. I will be back tomorrow and we will be going through let me just make sure I got this right. Okay. We're going through, when I come back tomorrow, we're going to go through and really focus on digging in the ChatGPT, and just whenever you see any of my videos, just like, subscribe, all of those great things. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here today. Peace out.
Unleash your ideas, no time to wait. Build your dream, don't let it escape. From the vision to the code, from the thought to the sale, you've got the fire. Now set your trail, 'cause empires rise.